What's going on, guys? My name is Cody. My tag's Daniels. Um, I kind of wanted to talk today, kind of go over how I was gonna say, kind of how to start a scene, but that's not kind of what I'm gonna say. Is how more so kind of how we got this scene going when we're completely isolated. I live in Lake Havasu, as well as the whole Havasu Club there. It's probably about a town of 50,000 people or less, but the problem is we're isolated completely. There's not another town for 40 miles in each direction, and there's not a big city. The probably closest big city is Vegas, and that's 2.5, 3 hours. About 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had a group of friends that we kind of tore the 64 out of the closet and started playing casually, items, the whole 9 yards. Probably, I would say 10, but a good 4 to 5 regular people that we would play with. And we would always want to, we were trying to recruit people, trying to get people, and we probably played once every 2 weeks, once a week, maybe on the weekends. Not serious, we just started having tournaments eventually, and I think our biggest one was 12, and that was huge. Random maps, no items, at least. We kind of moved in the right direction in that sense. And after a while, we weren't growing whatsoever at all. And we've always wanted at that point to host a big tournament. That was our goal. And then eventually we had no clue that there was a scene out there. I kind of realized that we were the only ones playing this 16, 17-year-old game, 15 at the time, and that it just was obsolete for sure. And then I looked on YouTube, and it just blew my mind that there was a scene out there going, and this is a little over a year, probably a little over a year ago, yeah. And it blew my mind, and I know it got the rest of the guys kind of super pumped that there was people still playing this game. And I realized that Melee, of course, was huge. Smash 4, they were all gigantic. And so from there, I ended up in Baltimore, and I had found out about Xanadu and pretty much the Baltimore scene. And I showed up at Xanadu and kind of met with Shears and Bark and Dark and everyone. And then from there, once I got back home in Arizona, I was like, you know what, this could be the good opportunity. Meeting them could be a good opportunity to have this big tournament that we've always kind of set out for, basically our goal. So I talked to them, and I discovered Facebook, all the Facebook groups of Arizona SSB in California or SoCal, and this is before NA, and realized, there was some scattered players in Arizona, not too much of a scene. There were some scattered players in Tucson, which we still yet have not connected with. I know Aces has went to Tucson yesterday and today for a tournament, and I'll get to that in a second. But there's some scattered players in Tucson, which is southeast Arizona, and then there's scattered people in Phoenix, but not really a scene. I know in Phoenix they're trying to arrange tournaments quite often, and we connected with them. And at that point, it started kind of getting exciting to realize that there's actually a scene going, and we might have something here. So at which point we talked to Shears and talked to some of the LA guys, and basically was the birth of ODS. last year. It was probably in June, July is when we kind of started developing plans to host a tournament here at my house. And with their help, we kind of started securing a lot of top players. We had Boom, Tacos, and then from there, kind of people started following. I believe Revan, Jaime, everyone just started showing up. Wasn't too much of a drive for Jaime coming from Mexico. We had Jimmy Joe, so New York, Maryland, California, Mexico, Canada, you name it. So at that point, it was so exciting that this tournament is finally happening and literally 2 months away. Set up the house for 6 CRTs and setups, had the pool. It was 115 degrees, so the pool was used the whole weekend, and I mean literally a blast for not only our club but just the whole, everyone had a blast. And from there things took off. We ended up going to SmashCon, which was actually weeks before ODS. Ended up going to Genesis, all that. So after ODS is kind of what I'm getting to. I had talked with Aces, I talked with Dustin and Godspeed, some of my very good close friends that live here in Havasu. And we were all stoked. We knew that we were going to do ODS again. That was for sure. Probably same in August or September of this year. But in order, to start building the scene here in Havasu, we had to do something. And kind of back in the day, a little while ago, even 6 months ago, we started thinking, there's no one around here. And it's something that I hear quite often, that we're isolated. There's no one around me to play with. And that was kind of the mentality I had. And I started thinking, you know what? Am I going to wait for the scene to come to me? Because that's kind of what that mentality is. Kind of have to wait for the scene to build and get to me. And I know our game is not nearly at the caliber that Melee is or Smash 4 in the sense of numbers, but it is growing. We're kind of in the golden age of Smash 64. And so at that point, I started getting the friends together, and I realized we need to get a weekly going. That's kind of how it's gonna grow, at least here in Lake Havasu. Even if we're isolated, possibly the most isolated you can get when it comes to trying to organize a scene here in way west side of Arizona on the border of California without a city for miles. And even those cities that are near us, they're not nearly as, they're smaller, way smaller. So we got some people, we got our core friends, and we started having weekly every Saturday. And all of a sudden we just started getting players. Whether it's we met them or some of our players met these people as well, from work, from wherever. And so we started getting increased numbers. And someone from Baltimore, I'm not sure who it was, told me, don't worry about talent. Get numbers. Get your entrance, get your players. Talent will come. And that cannot be more accurate, because at that point we started getting a bunch of players that went from just getting 5-star, never picked up a controller, or that all too familiar I played when I was a kid, but have no skill right when they pick it up. But playing with us, playing with everyone else, they started getting better at such a fast rate. And it was good that all of a sudden there's a bunch of players in their realm of of skill, and not just me and all the people that have been playing for 2 years. So we have a groups, like 4 or 5 people in each group of skill level, and it's good for all of them. Everyone is capable of getting a win, and we started getting increased numbers. We started streaming every Saturday, and come Saturday, I have everyone, texting me saying, "Hey, we having the tournament, and people are wanting to play in the week for friendlies," and it's like such a great feeling to see that there's actually growth and success. And the goal, a short-term goal at this point, is probably 20 people in 6 months, regular people, and that's not too far-fetched at this point. That we're getting 10 people on average on a good day, which is, it's better than the 5 and 4 and 6 that we started with. And some, on any given week, we can get 6 people. So, and what's even greater is 2 months ago, the people that could be considered third best, second, third, fourth best, are now, if we were to make a PR, could possibly be down to 7 or 8, and that's crazy. So what I'm getting at is, if you're isolated, completely isolated, no scene whatsoever, it starts with you. To be honest, it really starts with you. It starts with you and your friend. Get a friend, start playing. Whether he plays or not, 5-stock him for a month or 2. He'll get better. Make sure to keep his interest. Get a couple friends. It'll start building. Try to find people. Skill will come. And then start hosting tournaments when you get at least 4 people. I mean, whether it's a bi-weekly where you could shoot for everyone to get off of work, whatever it is, but it starts with you, could not be more accurate. Whether there is anyone around you, I wouldn't wait for it to come to you. Start building it, start playing, get people, host tournaments, weeklies, numbers. I mean, we still have weeks where it's 6 people, and it's disappointing, but we struggled to get 6 2 months ago. So that's crazy. This should be the 10th week in a row, which is exciting. Come Saturday night, every Saturday night at 8-9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we're on streaming. And everyone has a blast. The lower skill level, the higher skill level, everyone has a blast. It's one of the most fun nights of the week. Everyone comes here, hang out, play Smash. I mean, what could be better? So now we have people in our crew club, wanting to travel, and it's the next step in everything. So recently we had just found someone in Arizona saying he has no scene, and we let him know, we're in Lake Havasu. So it's working, and we're kind of expanding already. So if you want to tune in, it's twitch.tv/the Mr. Daniels. It's my Twitch. We're here every Saturday, starting at probably 6 or 7 for friendlies, Mountain Standard Time. So we'll be here literally every Saturday. It's Havasu Smash. I kind of wanted to make this video on how to not only build the scene, because I mean, I'm sure there's videos out there, but just building a scene when you're completely isolated. So I'm sure I'll probably make another video, but I want to put this one out here and try to help anyone that's out in this exact same situation. So this is Daniels once again. I'll see you guys soon.